live. Welcome to the Culture Shock Investments live charting session. We are in the building with G and Boss B in the building. We're going to do some charting. Say what's up to the people, fellas. Say what's going on, man. I don't know if they have their mics. Boss in the middle of working. But we are going to get level set this week. G, there you go. There you go. We're going to get level set this week on the ETFs. I'm going to do the ETFs for you guys. We're going to go through one gem company of mine for the week, and I'm gonna do one of the big tech companies. I'm possibly looking at Google because I like where Google's at right now. I know Google is in a good pullback position where they may be set to bounce from, but we're gonna look at those charts and we will see ourselves. But we're definitely gonna give you some ETF levels today with SPY and the Qs, and I have one bonus mystery company I'm gonna pull out that I feel like is set for some nice price movement, either to the upside or downside. There's really no bias in this. I just feel like there's a move getting ready to come based on what the technicals are saying. Okay. All right. Let's see if anything going on in the news today. Anything major? Let's see what the news stations are saying. Trump's temporary global tariffs are set to expire this Friday. So we got to see what he's going to put in place of those tariffs. Is he going to put anything in place of those tariffs? Or is he just going to allow that to expire, which I very much doubt. I'm pretty sure it's going to roll into something else. But I did also read some news out there. There was a lot of refunds on tariffs. It was almost over 90 some billion dollars in tariff refunds given out last month. So they're doing those paybacks. They're paying people back. They're keeping it quiet. Because, people like to keep their successes out loud, but they whisper their failures. So this tariff mission that he went on does not seem like it went well. It definitely didn't go well. And a lot of people are getting their money back from the tariffs that we collected. Now you got to ask how that's going to affect the GDP of the country, the income that the country is showing, our debt, our deficit. Is this going to impact our deficit? Is it going to skyrocket even more because we have to do all these refunds? All that money that he said was being used to pay off our debts and all that stuff is being refunded. So what does that do now to the debt? Where is our global debt stand? Last time I checked, it had increased above, I think it was like $14 trillion. So that could take a nice shot. Got to keep an eye out on that. Microsoft's 4,800 layoffs mask the real reason behind its $1.2 trillion market slide. So Microsoft laid off about 4,800 employees. These are just some headlines I'm going through here that I'm reading. Anything else looks interesting over here? This Apple lawsuit against OpenAI is interesting. Yeah, I'm sure Elon Musk is enjoying this, seeing that Sam Altman seems to be having a lot of, it's making a lot of enemies with other big tech giants out there, as far as Elon and then now Apple. And they are pretty much suing him, saying that the hardware plans that he got is from one of their former employees. So they're saying this is intellectual theft or intellectual property theft, and he should not be allowed to pursue this hardware idea that he's coming out with. Because OpenAI was about to put out a phone, and they were getting ready to jump in and compete with iPhone and Google. And with the popularity of OpenAI and ChatGPT, that could have caused some kind of disruption in market share for those companies. But Apple's not having it. Apple? Oh yeah, I think Apple's gonna have a little pullback, especially being in this lawsuit. I think that's gonna cause a pullback too. People are like, oh, let's see how this turns out first. Let's see. Let's go. Let me transition. Let me show you what I'm looking at here. Let's go into another interesting article. We got big tech earnings this week. It says in the title, we got Google, Tesla, Intel. So you're going to see a pretty shaky market, I believe, until we get those earning reports coming up. You're going to get a lot of range trading. So if you could identify the range early in the week, that's great. You can take advantage of that leading into earnings. But I tend to say you want to not trade too heavy during big tech earnings weeks unless you're specifically trading those events because there's going to be a lot of volatility coming in the market, and you're going to have to be paying attention to what those results are saying, what forward guidance is saying, if you're going to know what direction that you want to trade. Or you could go into this week with a collar approach and put contracts on both sides. And if we break out to either side, you can make money. But you want to make sure you time that entry right as well, and you don't get caught in the on the bad side of the upper range or lower range of those executions. All right, because if you get in the call at the upper range and we don't have a breakout, all your contract is going to show is negative throughout the whole time you're holding. And the same thing if you get to put at the bottom of the range, it's going to show negative the whole time you stay in the range. So you want to try to time your call near the bottom, you put near the top of the range, and see how those play out past earnings. If you're going to trade earnings, which I usually say do not trade events, do not trade earnings. Be very careful, especially if you're a new trader investor. You do not want to trade these events. The market's not going anywhere. The price movement will be there for you after the event. You can at least wait till the day after or be out the day before. Those are two rules I say. If you invest in earnings and you want to get a move, you get the move before the report comes out, you take your profit before the report, or if you wait till after the earnings, then you jump in after the earnings report and you ride that momentum based on whatever the earnings, which way your earnings is pulling that stock. All right, let's get on. Let's get on to. Let's see. Major earnings this week. Let's pull it up. We got Verizon this Friday. What's going on? What's going on here? All right, there we go. Tuesday, Charles Schwab is coming in on Tuesday with the earnings report Tuesday before open. Then we have AT&T Wednesday before open. And then Wednesday is the big day, July 22nd, 7:22. Let me put that in my mind, 7:22. Okay. So you got Google, Tesla, IBM, and Texas Instruments after close on Wednesday. So that is going to be a crucial day. You got to keep your eyes open on Wednesday after close to see what the market's going to do. So prime time to exit your trades will probably be Tuesday before close, leading into earnings. You probably get a nice move based on what people are anticipating. I wouldn't really trade Wednesday until after close. You want to see what those big companies report. And then Thursday, you could jump back in on Thursday morning based on those earnings reports and trading through the end of the week. All right, every day doesn't have to be a trading day. You don't have to trade every day of the week. It's actually best not to. And look for opportunities for entry and exits. Don't have to take every day as a have to find opportunity today. Especially during weeks where you have setups like this, it kind of is giving you the time frames in which you are probably safest to trade within. When you have a week with no events and nothing going on, that's harder to tell because you don't know what day a move may come on. But when you have a week with a lot of events and a lot of earnings, it's forecasting to you when the moves are going to happen, right before and right after the event. So lock in. Let me post these reports from Discord right now. If you are not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the Discord today, okay? We have a lot of resources we provide. This is one of them. I just talked to you guys about the earnings this week. Post this up every week for the community so we know what is coming up, as well as getting some post earnings reviews and report reviews. Like last week, we had CPI and some major banks reported earnings last week, so we had those reviews come out. So join the community and get access to this and stay on point so you're not following 100 Twitter pages trying to get information. Instead, get it all right here, centralized in the Culture Shock community, okay? All right. Let's get to the charts now. Let's get to the charts. Let's get to the levels, the levels, the levels. So we are here for the levels. Where we at right now? SPY at 743. Let's This is a weekly chart I'm looking at for SPY. This week, we're going to put our put entry below last week's low. Of course, we always like watching the weekly levels and setting our entries accordingly. Weekly levels do require you to have a little more patience, but when they play out, boy, they play out nice for you. When those levels break, it's worth the wait. Let me say that. It is worth the wait. Put your weight on it. Yo, y'all ever seen Eddie Murphy Dolomite, the remake of Dolomite? It came out. It's crazy. It came out like a few years ago. He had a whole bunch of stars in that shit, and I don't never remember seeing it being advertised or anything because you know Eddie shoots his own movies. Eddie Murphy. Yeah, he remade the movie Dolomite. That was a fun. Oh yeah, nah, it's crazy. It's on Netflix right now. You can watch it on Netflix. It's that movie is hilarious, bro. And it's based on a true story too, which makes it even better. Like it's definitely a black film. He got Wesley. When I saw Wesley Snipes in the film, I said, God damn, I didn't remember the last time Wesley was in the movie. So he had Wesley in the movie. I was like, okay, this is definitely a black power film right here. He had all the black actors in there. Like, shout out to Eddie, man. He got this line he's saying, and he be like, "Put your weight on it." put your. He got the girl on top of him. He be like, "Come on, girl, put your weight on it." You see, put your. That shit had me rolling. So that's what we want to see from Spy right now. We gotta see Spy put his weight on this put level right here. You gotta put your weight on it. All right, let that thing break. Yeah, when everything break, then you know it's coming down to seven. Spy will come down to 731 once we get below 740.80. That's the target level I got for SPY puts. So set your alert for 740.90 put entry, 755 call entry. They put in a pretty wide range last week. Don't yell at me, yell at the levels. All right, it's not my fault the range is so wide. Why the put entry and call entry so far apart? Listen, man, this is what the weekly levels say. We could put an early entry here if you want to be a zesty trader. You can't wait. You can get your ass in at 750. Between 750 and 755, your first target should be 755. And your second target is going to be this 760. That's the all-time high for SPY. Let me see the put side for SPY. You jumped in 205 what? Puts on NVIDIA? That's what you calling out here? Calls? Alright, let me pull up the NVIDIA chart real quick. Let's go to NVIDIA's rollover. Boss B talking about calls right now, y'all. Let's look at the chart. Look like we triple bottom down here on the 15. This is what he's saying. He's seeing a support right down. Saying he's seeing support right down here. So if you guys are in the market today and looking for a trade right now, my guy Boss Bizzle seeing a good opportunity here on some NVIDIA calls. You can use 204.58 as your stop level. You grab the call here. What target you looking for? What you looking for? High of the day? What you looking for on these calls? Two oh six sixty. All right, boom. We're gonna put the level in. Let's go. Live and direct for you. Live and direct for the people. All right, we're gonna put the alert in and everything. So when this alert go off, we can say, if y'all ain't make money today, it's because you ain't listening to Boss Bizzle. Okay. If you ain't make money today, and this call his target, is because you didn't listen. Listen, the stop level's in too. We're gonna put the alert at the stop because we don't know bias. We gotta put the stop level, stop loss. We start closing below that level. And now we watch. That's it. The alert is in. We can go back. You don't gotta sit there stare at the chart intensely. Your steering doesn't make the bar go up or come down. Get in the trade, set the alerts, and keep it moving. Well, that staring at the chart, burn your eyes out. Don't do it to yourself, man. Once the alert goes off, that's when you look. Just pay attention to your alerts, though. Do not let no alert go off and you not look at it. Alright. Q's is holding at 698. Q's is looking like they're putting a similar pattern to NVIDIA. Let's watch the Q's on the weekly. Let's pull up the Q levels. We gave out SPY levels already. Let's do Q levels. Let me see. Alright. Let's go with put entry on the Qs this week based on what we're seeing here. You can see this big buying block sitting here on the weekly. We got a big buying block. So we could have heavy support kicking in the 680. It could go all the way down to 675, which is a decent pullback. So you don't want to miss that. But the buying block does start right here, right around. We'll wait till we get a little bit into it. Get some little weight on it. Put your weight on it. We're gonna wait till some weight get on it at 695. Okay. So when we get below 695, I like that as a good clean put entry. It's a psychological level as well. 695 clean number. You're gonna have a lot of people probably entering puts at that level if we do start closing below there. So I'm gonna put it up a little bit higher, 695.60. And then call entry this week. Call entry, call entry, call entry. The call entry, early call entry, higher risk is going to be this 705 level right here that you're seeing. You see 705 pretty much because, 705 because we got this weekly level right here. You see it had a weekly support caught on June 20, the week of June 29th. That's the entry level we're looking at. And it's early entry because it's not the high of last week. So anytime you're catching an entry on puts or call that's coming before the high of the previous week or the low of the previous week, just know you're still in the range of this previous week right here, right? So you're still trading within this range. And that gives you a high risk for rejection, back down, because it could hold that range strong. But this call entry is an early call entry based on earlier weekly level. But the stronger call entry will be when you break the high or low of the previous week. That's a stronger confirmation because this is the more recent rejection levels and support levels that is shown versus the older rejection and support level. So you want to trade, you want to base your trade off of those more recent levels versus older levels because the market is fluid. It's always changing and it's always more dynamic than you realize. So you don't want to get stuck on old levels for too long, especially when you have some new ones to go by. So this week, the true call entry could be by, let's delete this, delete it, so I don't get confused. We're going to say true call entry could be above 724. 11. I wouldn't want to mess with the Qs below 711. Even the 705 level, there's a level here, 705, you could scalp, that would be like really high risk. But I'm going to delete that because I don't want y'all taking that entry right there. On the put side to the downside though, we start breaking down below 695 like we said, that's a good entry for puts. Right now we in the you can play scalps that way. But I don't prefer that. I prefer trusting the weekly levels and making our moves based off of those because you get a lot more volume and much more of a push behind a breakout versus something that's trading within the range. But there's range masters out there. If you're a range master, do your thing. Master that range, chop it up. But those are the Q levels for y'all, all right? Let's go ahead and get over to IWM, the next ETF that everybody likes to watch, the Russell 2000. I like the Russell 2000 levels from last week to hold because last week we put in that one bar, and this is a perfect example of a range trade. If you look at IWM last week, You have IWM sitting here. Last week, the low would have been put entry would have been 290, call entry would have been 300. Last week we didn't get above or below either one of those levels on IWM. Went from 291 to 297, and it kept trading in that range, and it ended up closing as a one bar. So that's what you call a choppy week. It's tough to make money in those weeks, but you can do it if you identify the range. Like I said, buying puts up here at the top of the range once you identify the top, and buying calls at the bottom of the range once you identify the bottom. But the cleaner play is always to wait for a breakout. So whenever you get a breakdown below the wick or above the previous week's high, is usually the stronger trade to take. Like this week when we put this two down in, you see when it broke this two down level at 294, it came down and gave you all the way to 290. All right, that's a $4 move. Here you take at 294, you get stuck at 292. You don't know, it's chopping too much up and down. So you got to be real short with your take profit if you're entering a call or a put on a weekly one bar. All right, lock that in your mind. If I'm entering a call or put and the one bar is still the weekly is still a one bar, that means that my call and put take profit needs to be short. I need to make sure I'm taking profit quickly because you could get caught in the range. If I'm taking a call or put entry based off of a level breaking, a weekly level breaking, then I could hold it, be more comfortable holding for my put target that I set, which should be another weekly level. You heard? Little technical homework for y'all, little technical work, little tech work. All right, so let's set this alert at IWM. We're going to set this call alert here at 295, okay? 295, put your call alert entry in. Oh, what you say? What you say? Or they from Boss Bizzle. What we said? Oh shit! Up 205. Look at that nice two up on the 15. Look at that nice two up. We almost at target. We almost hit that cha-ching. When I hear that cha-ching, I already know what time it is. Hmm. You know what? You convincing me. I wasn't gonna take a trade today, but I might take a 207.50. I'm gonna ride it out because we on the live too, man. I want to ride it out with y'all, man. I'll ride this out with y'all on the live, man. We gonna do this together. I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna get in. I gotta set the joint up on my computer where I can trade off my computer. Yeah, with the option contracts. I don't know how to do. I know you can trade stocks easy, but the option contracts is hard. I don't know how to get the option trading to work properly. Yeah, and then I could trade here. Right now, the 207.50 calls are about $90. I mean $30 on Nvidia. $30 a contract for the 0 day. If you're looking at that, if you're looking at the 1 day contract, you got 2 day contracts on here as well, which I prefer you take. You could get the 207.50s for 198, $200 right now. You could get one. All right, we got our stop level in. We got our take profit, and we just watching Nvidia. Let's see if we get there. Let's see if we hit this target. Let's get back on the IWM levels for y'all. 295.70 call entry. We're gonna look for 290. This is right here. 297.80s first target on that. And then you got another target, erase that level. Another weekly target is going to be right here at $300.40. Okay. Now you got put entry around here 292. I honestly, I honestly like put entry here at this monthly level because this is the monthly level I believe I have set. Actually, no, I'm sorry. This weekly level right here is a strong level. Yeah, this is the right level right here. That 292.77 is a monthly level on IWM. So if we give up this level right here, if we give up this level right here at 292.70, that means we are really going to break down on the IWM. It keeps catching support anytime it breaks down below this level. You see all these wicks. Anytime it gets down here, it's bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. That's showing you that the support is here. It's like a trampoline. It just keeps bouncing off of it, bouncing off of it, bouncing off of it. So we don't want to get caught up in that bounce. We want to wait for a confirmation close below here, at least on the daily. On Nvidia. And we're going to say our first target will be down here. Now, again, how do we find this target? It's the weekly wick. It's a wick down here. A wick is telling you we're not just coming up with levels off the top of our head. Let the chart give you the levels and you respect the levels. All right, you don't got to come up with levels on the top of your head. You ain't got to come up with stuff. You just could use the price levels, combine that with some EMAs, price action support. With those two things right there as a beginner, you should be good. Price levels, weekly levels, and EMAs. Weekly levels, EMAs. Let those be your two guides when you first start, and then you can add on more complex indicators that may give you a more detailed view. But when you first start off, all you really need is the weekly levels and EMAs. Once you have those and you stay disciplined to following what those are telling you to do, especially when they all align with each other, you're going to be okay in this market. Trust. It's not rocket science. It may seem like it, but it's not. The rocket science comes in with your personal discipline. That's where it becomes rocket science. But let's keep going. IWM, we get down to 290, that'll be good. And then the second target will put us down here. We're going to look and see. Yep, the weekly level from June 15th, you see? 288. And as long as you're disciplined and setting your levels this way, you're going to know every level you see on your chart, you're going to know this is some kind of a level of significance. This is not a week 5-minute chart level that I said. This is a week. These are weekly levels I put on my chart. So anytime I see a line on my chart, I know the stock is going above or below that line. There's going to be some price movement versus having a whole bunch of lines and levels on your chart for all different time frames. That's going to confuse you. So I would say find a time frame that you find the strongest confirmations on, whether that be weekly, monthly, daily, based on your trading style, and stick with setting levels on that time frame. So you know when that level breaks, it's breaking that time frame support or resistance for you. All right, let's keep it going now. So we got the ETF levels knocked out for you. Now my bonus company of the week, we're actually gonna do one. We're gonna do Google. It's a tech company I like to watch this week. This is not my bonus company, but we are gonna do one tech company price levels for y'all. So let's get it on with Google. Let's see what Google's talking about right now. We had some levels set last week. We're gonna erase these. We're gonna reset. We're gonna restart. It's a new week. It's a new day. All right. So let's get these weekly levels set up on Google. Based off what I'm seeing on the weekly chart, we have an early call entry that's possible right here. You see this weekly high at 360.77, right? That'll be an early entry. I'm gonna make this light green for early entry, so you can tell the difference. Solid entry would be high of last week. Once we break above that, we clear that first selling block. That's right here. This would be the preferred entry. Much more support behind it. And from there, this could either be your first target for early entry or this could be your entry. And then from there, the first target we're going to look for 378 to the upside. And then we'll look for this level right here, this top of this week at 389.78. All right. Set your alert. Put the alert in now so you don't forget. Because I'll come back, I'll set my alerts and levels later. Nope, you'll forget, and then the move will happen without you. And then you'll be, oh my God, how did I let that move happen without me? I saw it coming. I had it all laid out. I looked at it and everything. I've done that. That's how I know. That's how I know how you sound. Last week, Google. I'm saying Google levels. I'm saying levels on Google. They got early call entry on Google at 360.70. If we get up there, could ride that up to 374. Yeah, they took off, right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nice little whoop whoop bounce. Nice little whoop de whoop. And we're gonna do put entry on Google at 341. All right. I know that's a wide range, and for you um, scalp traders out there, my scalpers, I got you a call. Put entry at 348. All right, 348 put entry for the scalpers. 341 for my elite traders. 360 call entry for my scalpers on Google, and 374 call entry for my elite traders on Google. All right, I'm gonna give out scalp levels. I might come up with a whole different price chart just for the scalpers, man. I gotta show love to the scalpers. All right, I'm a big leap trade guy. I like weekly levels. I like long out contracts, but there's more than one way to skin the cat in this game, and I'm gonna give y'all as much information as I can to help support you at whatever angle you decide to take. All right, so we're gonna give you those scalp levels for Google. The scalp entry 348.80. If it get below there, you can ride that down to 341 real quick. Yeah. Uh-oh, Nvidia about to hit target. Let's go. Let's look at the Nvidia chart. Let's cheer it on, y'all. Let's cheer it on to the target. Let's go. We're right there. You gotta talk nice to your stocks sometimes. Especially when they about to hit target for you. You gotta talk nice to your stocks, okay? So let's all talk nice. Let's all talk nice to Nvidia right now. Come on, we see that little 200 day on the 15-minute right there. We ain't worried about that though. We're gonna break right through that 206.30. All right, we're gonna break right through that. We're going for 206.50. Okay. We want to hear this alert go off. So we ain't moving the alert down either. We ain't gonna cheat and move it down. We're gonna keep it right where we set it. All right, we're gonna keep that thing right where it's at. Yeah, they know. That's what they know. That's why I want to leave it where it's at. So when it hits, I know we got it right. They're gonna try to stop it right before there. No, 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 no. So another indicator you can see on the 200 day, on the 15-minute, the 200 day is sitting at 206.30. So this is what it's fighting with right here. This red line is my 200 day. Microsoft pushing. Let's look at Microsoft chart. Yep. Microsoft hit the monthly level. Who was in Microsoft calls? I was saying 397. That was you. Oh, you sold it, right? You took yeah. 397.70, the monthly level. Right here, I would be taking profit on Microsoft if using the scalp. You could look for a re-entry probably after 12:30, 1 o'clock, because it may start getting choppy up here, especially being that it's 11:30. So I'm thinking the same thing with Nvidia. That's why I'm hoping we hit this target right now, so we don't get caught getting sucked into this sideways low volume time. We could get out here hopefully and get right back in after 1 o'clock. Yeah, my Nvidia call is up 20%, man. I might just take that and come back later. We got 4 minutes left on this 15. Right. Let's see. Let's see how this 5 minute close first. We're gonna watch how this 5 minute close. Hopefully we get our target and we can get our profit and get up out of there, and we'll come back later. We'll be back. I'll be back. That's all we need. Let me look at this stochastic on Nvidia. I bet you the 5 minute overbought like a bitch. Yep, 5 minute up at 99. Yep, this is gonna be the last push right now. We need to take this. When this push comes, you gotta take that. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Give us that one more two up before you start going crazy. So the stochastic momentum for y'all who are watching the live stream. I like to watch short-term momentum. This is the short-term momentum indicator right here. This is showing you how hot it is. Time to get up out. Don't even wait. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let me get my 10%. Can I get 10%? There we go. Thank you for that little pop back up. Give me my 10%. How much more time we got left? We got 2 more minutes left on this 5 minute, man. You don't want to wait till the close of the five? Let's see, 2 minutes 30 seconds, man. Come on, we need a nice little blitz to the upside. Let's get this two up in. If this candlestick, if this 5 minute closes at one bar, yeah, it's definitely time to go. Yeah, yeah. That next candlestick will put a two down in quick. Yep, yep. Come on, man. Get in the gym. Do your push-ups. Come on, y'all. Let's blow it up. Blow it up. Come on. Put a little air under this thing. Let's put a little air under this thing, man. Come on, we're gonna put a rocket emoji. Oh no, that's the wrong emoji. It's a ship emoji. That's not the one I wanted. Where is it at? Come on, we're gonna put the rocket ship emoji up underneath. We're gonna blast it off. Come on, we can't come down now. I'll put a rocket underneath it. It's impossible. It's impossible for this joint to come down now. I'll put the rocket emoji underneath. They playing. In the final minute, they want to play like this. Come on, man. The rocket ship gonna hold it. The rocket ship gonna hold it up. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, this is how this works. I make it a bigger rocket. Come on, bigger rocket support. Oh, here we go. Let's go. Big rocket. The big rocket is working. It's working. The big rocket is working. We about to put the two up in. Let's go. It worked. I think we found something, y'all. Let's go. Here we go. Up 30%. Here we go. 33%. Two up. Yeah, put the rocket emoji underneath it, man. Let's go. I'm out. I'm taking it. We put another two up here. Let's go. Back to back two up. I'm taking this one though. Shout out to my 30%. I'll take it. That was fun. Nice, nice. You can't play with them. Not on the 0 day. You see that rejection? Look at that. Look at that rejection immediately. The 5 minute. Now we come back. So what we're gonna do now? We wait for this 5 minute to cool off, for that momentum to come back down and touch the floor. Hopefully by that time it'll be around that 1 o'clock time frame. We'll get through that 11:30 to 12:30 chop. We'll get it back in around 1. See what 1 o'clock is talking about, and then if there's no good opportunity in 1, then wait for 2. 2 o'clock usually shows something. Yeah, 2 o'clock usually gonna show you something. That was a nice play. Good call out right there, my guy. Good call out on that video call. Yes, sir. Live and direct for the people right there. Good 35% live. 60% if you got in when Boss Bizzle got in. I got in late. I still got 30%. 30% a day will definitely keep the broke away. Okay, that's no lie. You don't need 100%. You don't need 50. You don't need that quick 30% gain, and you can just walk away from it. You can be done. Be done. I'm just still here because I'm setting levels. I said I'm going to finish setting these levels, but as far as trading, I don't need to take no more trades. I'm good. I'm good. Nah, sometimes you gotta do the HB dive, man. Halfback dive. Get that 5 yards. Quarterback sneak, right? You gotta get that tush push in, man. Sometimes that's what you need to do. You need to get that 2 yards, 2 yards at a time. Yep. All right. So let's look on the weekly level. Let's look at we're looking at Google. So Google gave you the levels for Google. Y'all got the scalp levels. You got the sleep levels for call and put entries. And now I'm gonna give you my bonus company for the week before I get up out of here off the live. We are going to do. Which one do I want to give y'all? Which one? Because there's a couple of them I got. Look at it now, like this week to make some kind of move. Mm-mm. You know what? I like this play right here. I like this trade right here. So the one I'm gonna present to y'all, my bonus trade for the week, my bonus company is going to be Dollar General. All right, Dollar General. Here go the levels for you right here. We're gonna look for call entry. If we get above 127.75, that's call entry for Dollar General. You could ride that wave up to 132. There's an earlier exit here now because last week put in a high around 130. 127.75 for Dollar General. Yeah, and I think to push up to 130 and then 132, and we could get to 135. 135 would be my ultimate take profit because we got a big selling block waiting up there. So I would want to see how it reacts to that. It may even catch a next rejection or retest and be able to fade back up. But that's to the upside. To the downside, if it gets below 124.45, you can play puts down to 120 on Dollar General. Okay, yeah, 127.70 on Dollar General call entry. Yes, sir. Put entry 124.50. This is an early put entry. Remember what we just said? Because this is in the middle of last week's candlestick. So this is an early put entry based off an older weekly level. So be careful with that put. The real put entry could be the 118 if you want to look at it that way. If you want to leap trade this, you could get in the put at 118 and rock that down to about 116.50. Then you got another level down here. Definitely get out at 113.30, 114. I'll even push this up. Because there's a double bottom there on the weekly. So Dollar General has really strong support at 113. You see this double bottom? How these two candlesticks got two wicks right here? That's a double bottom. So you want to make sure that you pay attention if we come down here to take profit on those puts. But this is my bonus company for the week. Little retail trade for you. Check them out. Put those alerts in. Yeah, and keep them alerts, you know. They've been coming up on my list for the last couple of weeks now. And they starting to kind of have a little breakout from this base down here at 100. So they could push back up. What was they high? 158. Yeah, their highs at 158. So let's keep an eye. But everybody that's in the live stream, appreciate y'all coming through. I'm gonna post this up on YouTube for you to review and watch again, get your levels in, set your alerts. If you want all the price levels, you gotta join the Discord community so you can get that price level list weekly and be ready for the market every week and have the community behind you. You know, we got a lot of knowledgeable minds inside the Culture Shock community that provide a lot of good information, insight on companies, price levels, all that. And teamwork makes the dream work. No one person knows it all. No one person can see everything. So we come together as a community to make sure we all help each other make money. It's us versus the market. It's not us versus each other. All right. So let's all help each other make some money, grow. Everybody has their own strategies and ways to approach things. Find what works for you, and let's get this money, y'all. Set the levels. I'll see y'all next week.